gosh, Miss Gayle.
Hi guys. Thanks
Oh,
for having me.
um, alright, so I'm gonna just officially introduce you guys since we never met before. Um, Mr. Terry Cruz, this is Miss Gabrielle Gayle. Miss Gabrielle Gayle, this is Mr. Terry Cruz. So, Gabrielle, welcome to For the Record podcast. It is such a pleasure to have you on. Tarek has been so excited to have you on.
Oh,
Just so excited. Isn't that right, Tarek?
Well, I don't even know what you're talking about, Tilly.
wow. That's nice. Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Thanks for inviting me, man.
Yeah. So if anyone's wondering why Miss Gill is here today, it's pretty much just to talk about things that are happening with females in today's society in Jamaica. And Miss Gill, you seem to have such passion on this topic. You know, and this is why I was so drawn to you to have you in this discussion. And um me and Tarek never did necessarily want to just have this discussion because me dey feel like it is look away if you have two males that have about female issues that's
Yeah.
happening, you know, and we feel like one, we're gonna be biased towards some things, and two, we're gonna get some things wrong.
Why you feel so like a biased, Tilly?
No, because me know myself and me know you, Tarek. We are go
But don't
bias.
I always split justice, Tilly? Come on.
Me don't know about that. But we would bias towards some things, right? So
Some things.
The female perspective helps.
yeah, it does. It does. It really does. Females also always have some interesting perspective.
Quite interesting.
Always have some interesting perspective. But where do we start? Miss Gabrielle Gayle, just introduce yourself. Cause me that feel terrible. You know what? Tell tell
Okay.
tell us who Miss Gayle is.
Okay, so hi again. So as you said, my name is Gabrielle Gayle. I am involved in many things, right? So I'm a dancer, I'm a writer, I'm a scientist, I'm at UWI in Faculty of Science and Technology.
It's the full package.
I'm also involved in some youth political work,
Yeah,
as well as very involved in church life.
you're
So that's
involved in
me.
church life. I've never gotten that from how you speak. I mean, you always seem decent, but like never see us like a church girl.
Well, I'm not the stuck up stereotypical
Church girl.
version. Yeah.
Sanctimonious.
Well, no. Well, I mean that's good. That's good. Well, since we're upon the topic of like church and stuff, and
All right.
say you probably, I'm gonna assume since you just said you're involved in church that you're really involved in church. Like, we could talk about what's happening inside of the church because I saw something that, and as someone we keep on a core in a Jamaica where you have like pastors get caught for some sort of sexual harassment or something whatever. Like before we come to you, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so point blank. Unfortunately, it happens. There are some people who try to cover it up and pretend that it doesn't happen. There are some people who try to silence young ladies who come forward and talk about it. But I don't personally, which I'm happy about. I don't personally know about people who have done it, but I know in certain church spaces it does happen, and we need to be more welcoming in creating a space where people can come forward and actually be heard. And a lot of times we do see that a lot of church leaders, they don't really get punished or reprimanded for it once it's proven that it actually happens. And a lot of times people don't believe those who come forward and talk about it. They think, oh, they just want to hype up and cause problems. They just want to tear down the leader. They want to tear down the man and all of that. But I think we need to be really more welcoming and listening to people and taking action so that it doesn't keep continuing.
True. So Tarek, you look like you want you look like you want to say something about.
Well, personally, I think that Um, it has been a recurring theme, and
Mm.
it's evident that this is happening. And I don't know, like, it's an organization, so naturally the organization would seek to protect its leaders or its um, face, right? So I think that I don't really agree with it, yeah, because obviously it's wrong, and I just think that it's a thing that has been covered up um, to protect the image of the whole organization or organizations and even the whole religion, right? So I just feel that these people should be dealt with swiftly and viciously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, alright, my problem with it is that it keeps on happening, right? Like from me, how sense and can reason, me I hear about this thing happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the no no no. To me, it feel like there's nothing being done to solve it. I don't know if it's a problem where it's how men in the church are being raised, or if it's just a problem where as they get the title pastor, you feel sort of entitled to certain things. So I don't even know I don't even know what to say as to this is the problem and this is how to solve it. But it's such a annoying thing to see happening over and over and over again. But I saw an article the other day where they caught this pastor, and I remember it feels like how they did punish him in the court or whatever, it just wasn't enough. Like
Slap on the wrist.
exactly, and this is why, like, to me, this is why things keep like this keep on happening. Like nobody takes it as serious as how it's supposed to be taken, right?
I
And
mean, in wider society, in our Jamaican context, a lot of people don't necessarily believe women when they come forward and talk about rape or sexual
yeah,
abuse.
yeah,
And for the church, for leaders who have been accused of certain things, the church also has an element of, let's say, power.
yeah,
So, and for something like the church, morals would go against something like that. So, when it actually comes up, a lot of people think that it's not true. The pastor or a church leader would never do this. You're
yeah,
saying something wrong. But we know in reality that it actually happens. So I think, as I said before, we need more spaces where women can talk about this and actually have this dealt with, as well as I think that will start with a lot of women rallying together. Sometimes I think we're our biggest enemies. So if
mm,
more women were to band together and say, okay, we hear you, and even though this is being investigated, let's provide some emotional support, because as I've said, like in Ask Gabby before on Instagram, a lot of people aren't going to just get up and accuse somebody of rape or sexual abuse. In this country, it's very hard to get justice, so I don't think people are going to just get up and accuse somebody willy-nilly, right?
yeah,
So that has to be dealt with.
yeah. But I remember you did that. Or was it for men? I don't remember. But you did have this question one time. We did ask how do we create safe spaces. I
Hmm.
think it was for men though. But how do we create it for women?
For women, just talk to
And
them and
just
listen. A lot of times we're quick to blame and we're quick to point fingers or say, well, if you never do this, if you never go there,
I
if
thought
you
female
never
can do that.
talk to him, if you never wear this, it wouldn't happen. What you expect? So we just have
Like,
to listen.
when I see this, you did have this one video. I don't think I have it right now. You did have this one video where yeah, some kids, on a little unfinished house, and you did have this guy man just beat the girl. It's like them did have sex, and then like the girl come back and say things about the guy what him never like. So it's like him
Mhm.
feel offended now. So man just beat the girl and have all these other guys in there just a watching like a cheer man and stuff, and like me know say you ever have some people being like, but why should you do this so with one bag of man and rate it? Like that's not the point. That's not even supposed to happen. That shouldn't even be happening.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, other things were even are core against women. You know, like as me say, they have one whole heap of man just stand up there watching that like cheer on. Like sometimes we as man we don't even Mr. Tarika shaking it because we as man sometimes we don't even know how to be men anymore and protect
Wow.
women when we see them. Not even just protect women, protect other men from whatever. We don't even know how to do that anymore. You know? Like I personally think that Jamaica has few good male role models. A few, right? Like
Any name them though?
you probably can't only name your relatives who you have and the people you're close with. People in a high power, they can be like look, me enjoy as a dancehall artist music just as any other person. But me could never tell you say, yo, you know what say, Carson a role model dog. I mean look up to them. Like me enjoy music, me could never tell you say, yo, my role model dog, you know, that's who I want. Cause
A
like
lot of people see him as their role model though.
Yeah, the sad reality is because like music shapes culture,
Because
right? So people naturally are gonna look towards those that basically create them favorite like songs and everything, and them a live a lifestyle which they aspire to do. So in their eyes, right? Stemming from some other places where they come from and all these things, it's like motivation for them to look up to these various people, and
mm-hmm.
that's where they go wrong, because in entertainment give the people what they want and necessarily not what they need.
that's true.
Yeah, because one time in sixth form I was doing a study about dancehall, but on the flip side I was looking at how dancehall female artists, how they affect the upbringing of young girls, right?
Hmm.
So in doing general research, I found that a lot of dancehall artists were saying, I am not here to parent your children. I'm not here to do X, Y, and Z. You need to take
That's
care of
true.
your children. I am making music. They're like, I am making music, so you cannot blame me if
Listen,
I am singing X, Y, Z.
in my
Still a
opinion,
business, as you said.
in my opinion, that's true. If I was a woman and me I make music or say me a skin out whatever, watch out. I used to make sure that few people in here that me I try to entertain the select people with like my music. Just like how you have certain movies where they're not for young children. They're not. They're for a certain demographic. I
But the
Okay.
sad reality is young children still have access to these things,
They
and
do have
So you
access
say,
to
so
it.
you say now we figure out how do we prevent children from having access to these things. I'm
proper
not saying
parenting.
What
exactly.
I've seen is that some people they suggested you have a like a special zone for
Mm,
those kind of stuff. So like how you have parties and
mm,
a bunch of different people can come in and whatever they say, okay, just have special zones because dancehall, the nature of dancehall, really it's explicit
mm.
and children shouldn't be listening to that really. So I said, okay, maybe you have a particular zone for that for people who want to listen to that. And as you said, you keep your children at home and show them other stuff.
Yeah.
But the practicality of it, I don't know how it would actually work out. Because, for example, in my parish, if you go around the place, and even Jamaica on a whole, you can just go anywhere and you hear dancehall blaring
Which
anywhere.
part?